There are many reasons why the Economics Nobel is different from the other prizes, but the main one is that it technically doesn't exist. Allow me to elaborate. The Nobel Prizes were established as part of Alfred Nobel's will, where he used what was left of his massive estate to outline prizes that were to be given to those who during the preceding year shall have conferred the greatest benefit to mankind. And in that same will, he outlined what the prizes would be. The Swedish Academy of Sciences would give 2 awards. One to the person who shall have made the most important discovery or invention within the field of physics, and one to the person who shall have made the most important chemical discovery or improvement, which are of course the Physics and Chemistry Nobel Prizes. The Caroline Institute would handle the Nobel Prize in Medicine, the Academy in Stockholm would award the Nobel Prize in Literature, and the prize for what Alfred termed Champions of Peace would be awarded by a committee elected by the Norwegian Storting because reasons. The main thing to notice here is that there isn't a Nobel Prize in Economics mentioned anywhere, and that's because Alfred Nobel never created an economics prize. In fact, his living relatives have publicly spoken about how Alfred would have probably opposed the existence of a Nobel Prize in Economics. So the Nobel Prize in Economics technically doesn't exist, but there is another prize with Nobel's name in the title, the Swedish Central Bank's Prize in Economic Sciences in memory of Alfred Nobel. And that's the actual name of the prize we've all come to know as the Economics Nobel. It was created through a donation from the Swedish Central Bank in 1968 to celebrate the bank's 300th anniversary, a move that, according to economic historian Philip Mirowski, was motivated by a big political dispute in Sweden as to whether the bank
could have effective political independence. And in order to support that position, the bank needed to claim that it had a kind of a scientific credibility that was not grounded in, let's say, political support.
So that in copying the original awards, they had hoped to replicate the scientific authority of those awards, something noticeable in the name of the award itself, Economic Sciences. And it turns out they ended up doing a great job. The Nobel Foundation makes it clear on their website that the Economics Prize is not a Nobel, but on the day-to-day basis, it's treated the same as all the others, and there doesn't seem to be any reason to do otherwise. The Economics Prize uses the same selection process as the original prizes. It is awarded at the same ceremony as the other prizes. It even has a medal that looks like the one for the original Nobel Prizes. Not only that, but Nobels have become a shorthand for success, which is why so many other prizes are described as the Nobel Prize of X, like how the Fields Medal is the Nobel Prize of Mathematics, or how the Turing Award is the Nobel Prize of Computer Science. It's just that the equivalent of a Nobel in economics already has the word Nobel in it. And if it sounds like a Nobel Prize and functions like a Nobel Prize, the media is going to report it as a Nobel Prize. But not everyone welcomed the Nobel in economics, including the winners of the 5th prize, Gunnar Myrdal and Friedrich von Hayek, 2 men who shared the prize for their own independent work on similar problems from which they drew diametrically opposed conclusions, which makes the Economics Prize unique in awarding 2 people the same prize for disagreeing with each other. Yet, they did at some point agree on at least one thing, that the Economics Prize, the same prize they themselves had won, shouldn't exist. Hayek voiced his critique in his speech at the Nobel banquet, where he admitted that if he had been consulted about the creation of the prize, he would have decidedly advised against it, since a Nobel Prize in economics confers on an individual an authority which in economics, no man ought to possess. Essentially, Hayek believed that the influence the prizes in the natural sciences had was mostly over experts, and those experts were knowledgeable enough to judge the winner and his or her future works for themselves. But when it came to economists, their influence would largely be over the general population. And the media would then seek laureates' insights on all sorts of problems when there's no reason why someone who did some great economics should somehow have the answers to all of society's problems. Myrdal would take longer to voice his critique, but 3 years later after receiving the award, He was calling for the abolition of the prize in an open letter. A letter where he described how, as a social science, economics could not escape politics, and explained how hurt he felt when the media characterized him as some kind of radical socialist when reporting on the award. He believed that awarding the economics prize would always be seen as a political act, which is precisely how most saw the pairing of Myrdal with Hayek, an exercise in political balancing. So Myrdal and Hayek warned us of different problems that exist because of the way economics is inherently political as a subject. And they both make excellent points, but there's no subject that is completely apolitical. And helping keep politics out of economics is exactly what the economics prize is supposed to do. Besides, these critiques assume an ignorant population while ignoring the positive impact such prizes have on the population's ignorance. I mean, you're watching an informative video about all this stuff, right? So something must be working. And I'll admit I'm on the optimist side, but just in case, I'll leave you with the same quote Hayek closed his infamous banquet speech with. Students of social science must fear popular approval. Evil is with them when all men speak well of them. What do you think of the economics prize? Should we ever concern ourselves with the authority some awards seem to come with? I would love to read your thoughts, so let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe for more videos.